Hey all, welcome back. So I am going to attempt to do my WIP parade today. Now there will be new WIPs before the end of this year, but I feel like if I wait too long I just won't get this video done. And I do enjoy watching a WIP parade. That is one of my favourite things in January, is just to binge watch WIP parades, see what other people are stitching. Sometimes I sit there with my list of like things that I would like, and then I pick up those throughout the year. I have to say, do enjoy a very good WIP parade. So this video is going to be a little bit of chopping and starting because I do not want to end up in a huge mess. I don't have a lot of space around me to put my WIPs. Now, I don't have as many as I have had in previous years, and some of these aren't even WIPs, but there are projects that I've had kitted up for a while that I want to stitch. So some of them that I know are not WIPs, because I know the project bag. For instance, I've got my bag here to start Teresa Kogurt Serenity piece. Don't know when I'm going to start it. I have literally got everything kitted up in here, fabric, thread and a chart. Maybe there should be a 2026 new start. We'll see, but I already know what that is, so I don't need to show that. Oh, by the way, these bags, a lot of mine are from Canny Little Fox. I absolutely love her project bags. I have 3 different styles of project bags from her, but every single one is absolutely gorgeous. So this is the larger style one. You've got a vinyl pocket here. I do love the sparkly glitter vinyl. Not sure if you can see that. So I already have my threads and my fabric. And then you have a large pocket here. My chart is currently in the chart pile just because when I moved, I didn't want the chart to get damaged as I hadn't started it. Oh, sorry, this one is not. This is Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. So the chart I have is a PDF. And then on this side, you have, when I'm traveling, and I will fold this over and have this, like, for instance, when I'm sat on the plane, I will have this sat on the on the tray. I will tuck the corner of my chart in here. Imagine this is an A4 piece of paper, and it stands up, so it's easy for me to stitch because I have the chart right in front of me. You have 2 different triangle pockets here. You have a glitter final pocket. At the moment I've just got my tag that says Consider the Lilies. You have a little pocket here that you could put a pen, or if you use one of the grid guides, they fit in here as well. You've got a little place, I put my needles on this little felt piece. Then you've got a little batting piece to catch your loose ends, like your orts, or you could stick them underneath here. I normally put a pair of scissors on here, and then you've got a thread drop. So those are the bags. Absolutely love them. She sells them on her Facebook group, or like I have done for quite a few, I have pre-ordered. I've messaged her and asked her for a specific type of fabric, but a lot of mine I do pick up on her sales, not on her Facebook, sorry, on her Instagram. So definitely go and check her out. I will link her down below, but you will see an awful lot of my projects are in her project bags. I used to, this was my favourite size, the larger size. I now tend to use the smaller size because a lot of the pieces I stitch on are either digital charts or are A5 size charts, so I don't need as much space, but I still absolutely love those. So Consider the Lilies is one that I've had set up, ready to go for a while. But yeah, as I said, I will be kind of pausing. I will try, this video will be a edited video. However, by edited, I mean I will try and insert photos of what the chart is meant to be looking like. If I have done a lot of work on it, I will share a progress photo, if I have one, of where the piece was at previously. I will have to pause because I have to put things back on the shelf, but I also have different places where I store my WIPs because I have quite a few WIPs. I have quite a few project bags with kitted up pieces. Not all of them fit in one place. I also have WIPs that sit on my stitching trolley, which are currently active WIPs that I'm currently working on, so I'll be pausing to collect those up. So it will be a little bit of a choppy and kind of video. If you have a drink, go get one. I've got my Pepsi Max to keep me going, because I feel like this could be a long one. So, another project bag. I love this one from Canny Little Fox. And this one, you will see this year, if you haven't watched any of my Flossmss, I explained a lot about why I hadn't really stitched. This year was a very difficult year for multiple reasons. I'm not going to go into that. If you want to find out why, it is in the intro of my Flossmss, so the very first Flossmss series. But it meant that I didn't get a lot of stitching done. So a lot of these pieces have not been stitched on since the last time I had them. This one is a freebie that I did 2 years ago, I believe now. I created my own sampler featuring different things that were significant to me. So that is my sampler. I have not got very much. I have stitched on this once in 2 years. This was stitched on my birthday, so on the day that this was released, before I went out to celebrate, and it's still exactly where it's left. So this is stitched on an 18 count Coffee Crafts fabric with a DMC. That is as far as I've got. It is pitiful that this is one of my own designs and I haven't stitched on it. I'm not gonna lie, I have ummed and ahed about whether I do stitch this one, especially because I have so many threads tied up in this project. I don't really know. I still do like the chart. I just don't know when I'm gonna get it stitched, because there are so many things that I have to stitch for Be More Creative. I also have so many other charts that I just want to stitch more than this. And that sounds terrible, that my own chart, and I don't want to stitch it. I have seen so many people stitch this chart, obviously changing the initials, changing the birthday on there. And I've seen so many people do it and it looks absolutely stunning. But I just don't know why it is not calling to me. So I am very much on the fence, and I would like your opinion on this one, because I have such a big piece of fabric stored in this project bag. I could easily do something else on this. But that's my little start. There's the thread that I'm currently using. I have such a big piece of fabric. I have so many threads caught up in this, and I just don't reach for it. I don't stitch on it, and it's not because I don't like it. I enjoyed designing it, but I just haven't had the time to do anything with it. So I don't know. Do I kind of put that one to one side? I would like to stitch it on a smaller count. I would like to do it 1/1 on 25 count, something like that, because I like to have it as a little pillow. I don't really have space to put up pieces. I'm not allowed to put anything on the walls. So bigger pieces have to be balanced on a table or on a window, and I just don't see myself giving that one the real estate. However, I am considering restarting it on a smaller count, because then I could have it as a little cute pillow to go in a dough bowl. So that one is what I'm thinking about. The next one I have is in another one. I love this one. This is Teresa Kogurt fabric, Christmas stockings. I have started this. I haven't got very far in it. I haven't stitched on it at all this year. This is Holiday Study. I am stitching this on 25 count mushroom Lugana with the called for DMCs, and it's still in the same spot as last year. I'm not UFOing this one. I would like to stitch it, just hasn't been one that, as I said, I've barely stitched on anything this year, so everything is having like another year to see if we get any progress on it. The next one I have is, okay, it's kind of a WIP, it's kind of not a WIP. So I bought the Spirit of Christmas set 1 and 2 ornaments. Now I haven't stitched on these. The reason I have this in my WIP pile is I got the first one stitched, rejoice, but obviously there are 8 ornaments, I believe. I think there's 8. Yeah, 8 ornaments, and I have got one of them stitched. I have stitched this on 20 count Stone Ada, and I am using Paint Box Threads, the Perle 12, the Holly and Ivy colourway. I bought this from the Knitting and Stitching show at the at Ali Pally. Not last year, the year before. I stitched the first one and then wasn't into Christmas stitching. So this one has been away for a little while, but it is still classified as a WIP, even though there isn't one that I'm actively stitching on, because all the threads and everything are still there ready for the second one. Another gorgeous bag. The next one I have here is one that I have not got any progress on. I haven't even picked this up. I need to get a move on with it though. Is Bothy Threads London. This is a full coverage piece. But this piece I have struggled with because I've started it on a few different types of fabric. Haven't really fallen in love with any of them. The first fabric was the called for Ada. It is crusty. I do not like stitching on crusty fabric. Then I started it on another piece of fabric, which was a hand-dyed fabric. However, you just couldn't see the colourway with it. And I have since taken that fabric out of here. So pretty much I am debating, and I said this in the WIP Parade at the start of this year, do I just carry on the crusty fabric and get it done, or do I try and find a different fabric that is more comfortable to stitch on, because it is going to be around for a while. But this is the piece that I am doing for my sister's graduation. I started this 2 years ago. Graduation is going to be, I think, next year. So I really need to get my butt into gear and work this one out. This is definitely on a goal list for 2026 to get that one finished. Right, and then I don't know what I have here. Oh, I have the piece that I started in January 2025, Never Forget by Yasmin, made with love. And I am doing this on KLT fabrics. And that's all scrap, that's all scrap. Where is my actual fabric? Here it is. And I have made a good start with the border. That's about it. So maybe this piece should be a piece that I take away with me. When I say take away, I mean focus on my Christmas holiday stitching, because I started this in 2026. I don't know if I'm going to get this finished in, 2025. I don't know if I'm going to get this finished in 2025, or do I just pick this piece up as my 2026 January completion project. I don't know. I would like to get this one finished. I do think it's cute. I love the saying, never forget the difference you make. I would like to have this stitched and possibly even put up in my office at work, because I do say to the girls, remember the difference a small act can make. So yeah, I have this kitted up with KLT charting threads. I believe this is the one I did as a giveaway. And I'm stitching on an 18 count Coffee Crafts fabric. I have the thread. I have so much stuff in here. But yes, so, and in another gorgeous Kenny Love Fox bag. So I think I should probably keep this one out as a motivational piece. Maybe, I'm just not really in the mood for this at the moment. So maybe I have this as a piece that I work on in 2026. Maybe it goes on WIP Go with the aim to get this finished next year. I 100% need to work my butt into gear for the London piece, which I'm not sure if I showed you the bag. I love the fact that it's in a travel bag. I do have just a London project bag, but that's got something else in it, but I love this travel theme. So those two are probably ones that I need to have on the goal list because I would like to get them finished. All my other projects I still want to continue. My birthday piece is the only one I'm on the fence about, but I would like to do it smaller, so maybe a restart for that one. Maybe I unkit it and put it back into the rotation of patterns that I would like to get stitched and see. But I'm going to pause you. I'm going to grab the next lot of projects and then we'll be back in just a second. Right, just had a little avalanche of project bags. So this next one is a very mixed pile. Some of these are WIPs, some of these are pieces that I've got kitted up. I've tried to leave the kitted up ones on the shelf because it is a WIP Parade, but there might be a few that slip in, so it'll just be a few bonuses, I guess. So the next one I have in this Bags Plus one. I love the fact it's got a pocket on the back and a pocket for all of the skeins. And this is Autumnline Stitchery Snow Friends. I started this one, it was meant to be like a sale. I wasn't very good at the sale. Unfortunately, during the sale, I lost a very close friend of mine. And it kind of, I lost my stitching mojo. It was not a, well, I guess any loss is a surprise loss, especially with someone so young. But she had been battling cancer for a while and we didn't expect her to go when she did. We kind of thought we were going to have another Christmas. I was stitching this piece because she loves snowmen. I want to get back to this piece. I think it's been long enough. It's been 2.5 years now. 3 years, sorry, we're at December. This is the 3rd year. So I kind of feel like it is time next year to have this one as a finish. And what I love is her mum gave us all these little, my friend was very much into like little trinkets, and her mum bought us all this little angel protection charm, little flat disc, and my friends and I spoke about it because we said, what are we going to do with these? One of my friends makes jewellery and she's turned hers into a pendant that she wears at Christmas. And my friend said, what I need to do is finish the snowman as a stand-up, which is what I was planning on doing, and then putting the angel piece inside as a memory to my friends. So that is something that I am considering doing. I have an empty project bag. I do have quite a few empty project bags from Canny Little Fox, the larger ones. So some of these projects are not in the nice project bags though. What is this one? This is Saga by Long Dog Sampler, and I am using, I have no idea what I'm using. No clue. So I think it might be a 20 count, but this piece is going to be absolutely huge. At the moment I'm doing the archways in black. I am using Paintbox Fred's colour palette. I am using their hand-dyed Fred Perle 12 in black, and then for my colours I am using the hand-dyed Fred's Regency pack. So what I'll do is I'm doing the black outline and then I'll do the colours on the inside. I really enjoy this piece. I haven't stitched on it since the summer. This is one that I started this year. But I just think those colours are going to look absolutely stunning. So definitely want to get back to this. The problem is I know I've made a mistake somewhere in this second archway. I'm just going to fudge it if I can. But that's why I put that one down. I got so frustrated. I can't work out where I've gone wrong. So I kind of threw a tantrum and it got put into timeout. Not a very nice project bag for this one. This one is a Teresa Kogurt Patreon piece from March 2024, and it says, "Make up your mind. It's been my experience that you nearly always enjoys things if you make up your mind firmly that you will." Anne of Green Gables. And I am stitching this with a colour conversion. I am using the Last Homely House Fred Aurifil thread pack. This box has had a real good beat up being in this bag, but you can see those gorgeous colours. Let me try and save this a little bit. But that's not going to work. I will just put those back in. And this, I believe, is a coffee craft fabric. And I have started stitching a very, very long time ago the little bird section at the bottom. So I've done this part. So another one that I need to pull out and work on a little bit. This piece is obviously a piece that I've started while I was in France, because the pieces that I've travelled with are in these project bags, with the exception of my long dog sampler, because I've worked on that since getting back to France. That's not even one I can show. I don't know what is in this. That's not even cross stitch. Doing really well at the moment. Aha, here is a cross stitch piece, and one that I have definitely worked on this year. I've worked on this during the autumn season this year, and I do apologise, my photo printout has been worn down over the years. So this is at least 2 or 3 years old, Autumn Town by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Now, I have done a fair amount of work on this piece. When I picked it up, I had this part down here done. I didn't have all of the trees at the top. I've done the trees at the top, I've done the sky and the clouds, but I am probably about halfway through now. This is just over 3/4 of the way down. I have a little bit left at the bottom to do, but yes, so did work on that one this year, so at least that's a bonus. I will see if I can find a photo progress picture if I have one. And that is still in a very old project bag that I made myself. I have phased a lot of those bags out over time. The next one I have, this is 2 Love Poppets charts that I am planning to stitch together. I am planning making this into an interactive advent. I actually completely forgot I had this one going this year. So I'm going to have Driving Home for Christmas as my top section of my advent, and I'm going to do the border of these on one piece of fabric, and then I have started doing the smaller squares individually. So I have 2 different counts of fabric in this bag. So I am going to do my, so the Driving Home for Christmas and the actual backing piece on a 16 count fibre on a whim stone. I haven't started that piece yet. And then I have a Coffee Crafts fabric 20 count, and so far all I've got is outlines of some of the boxes done. I will be cutting these out and having them individual, so you'll have the picture and a number on the back, so you can turn over the number. It will be kind of an interactive countdown to Christmas. Oh, the last 2 I have here are not even WIPs. These are ones that I have kitted up. As you've seen, this one has been hanging around for a while, the Scarlet House Seeking Refuge. I have loved this chart ever since I saw it. I kept seeing people do this during lockdown. I really, really wanted to stitch it. As you can see, I still haven't started it, but I do have it completely kitted up, ready to go. And it kind of, this year, I went to go pick it up to start it, and the saying meant something completely different. So originally it kind of related to lockdown, and now I kind of see it relating to my situation. The next one I have is also completely kitted up, including fabric. I plan to stitch this on fibre on a whim 18 count brown sugar. I have a lot of fibre on the whim because of the Patchwork Rabbit Club that they used to do. I don't think they do it anymore. Good Intentions by Barrick. I love this. I myself am made entirely of floors stitched together with Good Intentions. And the threads that I have this kitted up with, Bush Christmas by Cottage Garden Threads. Look how stunning that is. I plan on doing all of the black in 310 and the colour work in that and just having it as like a 2-colour piece. I may change my mind on that. I obviously had the intention of doing that when I first started. I love Bush Christmas, so I probably will. But I think I might need to add another colour to kind of break it down a little bit. But we will see. So I'm going to pause, go on to the next section, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, so next part of the project are random bags and smaller bags. So in this one, this is not really a WIP, however, it's the same as my other ornaments. It's a series that I'm stitching. There's just a few charts that I haven't stitched out of them. These are the hands-on design White Christmas. I have stitched all of them with the exception of these two plus reindeer games. I didn't like the chart for reindeer games. I'm not going to stitch it. However, I still have Tree Farm and Deer Tier that I would like to stitch. So I have this kitted up with the fabric and all of the threads that I used for the other ones, just so that way everything matches when I get back to that. I don't know what's in this one. This is a project bag I made. This is hands-on designs. Oh no, it's not. It's Liz Mathews rainbows. I've done mine monochromatically, but there were so many different colorways you could do this. Oh, I know what this is. This is a piece. It's just embarrassing where this is. Dark Queen of the Seas. I was not intending on starting this one until I got my other Dark Queen of the Seas that I haven't actually seen yet. Maybe she's in this pile. I might have to go hunt her down. So this is Dark Queen of the Seas. I wasn't intending on stitching her until I got Dark Queen of the Earth finished. However, I went away and took the wrong one. But on this trip, I had 1 hour of stitching in the airport. I thought I would have a lot more stitching than that. Which way does this go? And that's all I've got. So I put this one away purposely because I wanted to get Dark Queen of the Earth stitched because that was the one that I have more on. And then I'd come back to this one. I'm actually a little bit worried I don't know where Dark Queen of the Earth is, so I may have to go and hunt her down afterwards. The next one, this one I need your help with. So, this one has been an ongoing WIP for a while. It is the Blackbird Loose Feather series. I have 3 more that I wanted to stitch originally. This isn't really my taste anymore. I have a huge piece of fabric in here. Look at all that fabric that I could be rescuing. I was going to do this as a family heirloom pillow. And I was going to do 1 block for each of the members of my family. So I have one of my sisters, me, and then the family one. Now, I finished these blocks a while ago. And I'm actually considering taking the alphabet out and making this just as a pillow as it is. Because it is absolutely stunning. I do love it. It's not really my style anymore. So I'm considering making this into something rather than stitching the last 3 blocks. Now I'm still debating, do I just carry this on and stitch the last 3 blocks as I intended, with 1 being for my mum, 1 being my sister's, and 1 being my dad's. So I'm really debating if I carry that on, or do I just say, okay, I've got 3 blocks done, I changed the letter of this one, and it's kind of my stitching, and I finish it off as a pillow as it is, because this has got a lot of threads attached to it. It's got a lot of fabric, and I'm not enjoying it, and it's not going to mean the same thing anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, I think these blocks are gorgeous. I think the house is gorgeous. Not so fast. Also not so fast. So I would probably stitch this one separately, or maybe just stitch this one and add it onto the end. It's just the fact that the three look so good together. But I've got so much DMC entangled, so much fabric, and it's not going to have the same meaning as it originally would have done. But I'm now thinking, if I was to finish it where it was and finish it as a little pillow, it can sit on my stitching chair. Because where it is currently, it is the right length for my chair. So do I just say, do you know what, I've enjoyed the project and claim back the rest of the materials and actually have it out on display? Or do I try and force myself to stitch on the rest of it? That is what I am debating. This one is empty. This is one of Canny Little Fox's 4-way pocket pouches. This is a Teresa Kogurt. I have 2 Bs, a Teresa Kogurt Deer fabric. Absolutely love it. You can see that glitter vinyl here very well. And I also have one that is Halloween, which I'm about to show you, because all my Halloween projects, I shouldn't say all, not all of them are stored in here. So the first one that I have stored in here is Come On In by Barrick. I am stitching this, I think this is a 28 count. 28 count even weave. Absolutely gorgeous colourway. I am stitching this with Eco Fita. You know I love the DMC Eco Fita threads. They look absolutely gorgeous on that. I'm not entirely sure where my actual pattern is. I've got my working copy in here. I think my pattern might actually be away in the pattern stash. But yeah, so I started that one, not this year, last year. So I've got that one. The next one I've got in the next pocket is a Teresa Kogurt piece. Now, I started this piece a while ago, and I just rediscovered it. I actually thought I lost this piece. This is one of the cats from her Halloween book. Really great because it's going to be a fill-in piece. So we'll keep that going. I'm stitching this on 16 count Legacy Ada from, I think that's Pictures Plus Legacy. That's that. That is how I found it. I obviously started at some point. I have no clue when. I don't remember starting it, but I do. The next one I have in here is, I'm hoping I have a picture, Autumn Lane Evening Stroll. This was out of the box that I got, and have not got very far on it. I've stitched the witch. That is on a perforated paper with all of the DMCs that came in the kit. And the last one I have is Sppok Haunt by Hello from Liz Mathews. I am stitching this, I want to say, on a 32 count. 32 count Murky by Pictures Plus. Same place that I was over a year, maybe 2 years ago. Haven't got anywhere on that. Didn't really stitch any Halloween this year. As I said, I wasn't stitching at all at that point. So those are those ones. The next one, oh, an empty case, but it's good to show you. This is Canny Little Fox's. This is the, I think it's called the travel case. It is just under half the size of the other one. It still has all the features. You have multiple pockets. You have felt. The difference is the top here is all batting, wadding. You have a little clip for your scissors, and then you have your pocket, and then your final front zipper pocket. So these are the ones that I use for travelling. I love this bee print one. I'm pretty sure I requested a bee print one. And in this one I have my animal cracker bones. Now, I need to take the other threads out because I was using this for Lily, the frog, but I'm now on to, which is the back, that's the back. I'm just stitching this on a random scrap. This one, I want to get it to the point where it is fill-in ready. I do like animal crackers for that purpose, but as you can see, it is completely in use at the moment. So you can see I have a needle minder on here. This one is a Love Poppet wooden bee. I have the needles. I've got a pair of scissors attached to this, and what happens is I will just tuck them into the pocket. They fit quite nicely, and then these are the threads that I'm currently using. I need to top up the black for this one, and then these are the threads that I've pulled that I've finished using that can go away in my stash. I have just got my pattern and fabric just tucked into the back, and then this size is perfect because I can do this up. What I will do is for when I travel, I will switch the scissors out to these little tiny scissors. I've travelled with these quite a few times, I have no issues with it, but then that way I can just use those on the go. So that will be a piece that goes travelling with me. Once again, canny little fox, gorgeous. I love all the different animals on this, which is why I use it for my animal crackers. And the next one I have here is a Catsrpillar CrossStitch. This has not been touched at all. Toy Story Emporium. I don't have a photo. I'll see if I can find one to go on screen. I don't know why this isn't stitched. I think I said that on every other one that it gets shown on. Aha, here is my Dark Queen of the Earth. So this one, all the called for colours. Bags plus bag. I love this pattern. I am stitching it on the called for fabric. I believe mine's called Gilded Oak. 28 count, I believe. This one, as you can see, is a lot further on, but still not finished. I would love to get this one finished next year. I do absolutely love this pattern. So there is that one. This one I do, like, I would love to take it back to France and stitch on it. However, I need really good lighting, and my mum's house is an older house. The lighting is not great for stitching, and if I put the lamp on, oldest German Shepherd gets scared of it and runs away, so I tend to just take things that are on Ada, and the ones that I need a little bit more lighting to stitch. Now, I don't stitch with, I obviously have my glasses, which are prescription glasses, but I don't stitch with magnifiers. I just make sure I have better lighting. The last piece has not been touched in over a year. This is a project bag that I bought from Big Stitch. This is a piece that quite a few of us are sewing at Big Stitch. And I am stitching mine. This is Modern Folk Embroidery's embroidered ribbons. I think it's absolutely stunning. I'm stitching mine with the Out and Proud silk colours. I just loved that colourway. I'm doing mine 1/1 on 28 count coffee craft fabric, and that's as far as I've got. I think it's still the same. The original plan was to get this stitched for Big Stitch. However, I'm not going to be going to Big Stitch because I'm at work the weekend. I was a bit annoyed because with my new job, I thought it'd be a lot easier because where it was placed before, they were talking about moving it to the start of July. And I was like, brilliant, I break up end of June. We break up the weekend of Big Stitch. We have a leavers dinner, we have a speech day. I cannot take time off work for that. So unfortunately, I won't be at Big Stitch, which kind of demotivated me to finish this project, but I do absolutely love the design and would like to get back to it, so I just need to work that one out a little bit. I am going to pause and gather up any other WIPs that I can find around the house. I've got a few, I literally have WIPs everywhere. I have 2 that sit by my bedside, which are my evening stitches that I stitch like just before going to bed if I do decide, and also where I was off sick, I had 2 that I was working on there. And then I think I have some in my stitching trolley. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gathered just a few more WIPs. I have one from the Jingle Ball that I didn't get finished for the class. This is the Christmas pair. This one will say Noel. It's very close to a finish, but since Jingle Ball, I haven't pulled any of these ones out. So I do have that one. This is one that was just in my travel bag. It's got threads everywhere. Which way does this go? No idea what count this is. Probably a 32 from looking at it. Sunflowers from Stitching with the Housewives. And this one you can tell is clearly a travel project because it's still in a Ziploc bag. So that one actually needs a project bag. The next one, this is a Bags Plus mini bag. I've got 2 of these. These work really well for mill heel kits. As you can see, I've just put the thread inside here. This one that I have currently is Prince from the Nutcracker, and there is this one. This one just goes in my bag. It's a travel project, really great for traveling, but also just if I'm at an appointment or if I've gone to hospital with a student and they've gone to X-ray or something, it's quite good to have a little project. Or like I've had previously, one of my students was in hospital recently. She slept most of the day. Thankfully for her, she could actually get some sleep. So I just grabbed that one and started that one. As you're all aware, I have my stitching advent on the go at the moment. I still have to stitch today's day 15, but I am really enjoying that one. The finish for this will not be until the new year, just because of everything going on, and also the piece that I thought I was going to finish it on was actually a little bit too big, so I am still trying to work out what I'm going to do, but there will be a finishing for this probably in January. This was a Jingle Bell Star. I haven't got very far on it. It's stitched on 16 count golden needle by Permin, and it is Winter Rules by Primrose Cottage, or Winter R as it currently says. And I have just kitted this with my own colourway of different threads. So I have that on my stand ready to go. So that one will need a project bag. And this is one that I pulled off of the WIP pile. This is a few years old, but I got a lot of work done on this yesterday. Let It Snow. So I'm hoping you may actually already see this as a finish before this video's up, because this one needs a little bit of editing. This one is currently being recorded on the 16th of December, but will probably go up a little bit later on, just because of everything else. So this one, I pulled it out of the WIP pile yesterday. All it had was the Let It Snow, the snowflake. It had the black line down here and the letter S. So yesterday I got the rest of the black in, and then I got the start on the houses. There is a long way to go. I'm stitching this 1/1 on 25 count. I'm really enjoying it, but obviously because it is 1/1 on 25 count, it is quite small. I just wanted this chart to be a little bit smaller so it could go as a little pillow or a little flat fold. It is stitched on 25 count country mocha, as I said, 1 strand DMC, called for DMC. I always find it funny with autumn lane Stitchery pieces, because I was looking at this really, really vibrant green here and going, no way is that going to fit into this pattern. I really shouldn't doubt Aaron. His pieces are amazing. His colour work is amazing, but I do doubt it every time. I don't know why, because every time he knocks it out of the park. So hopefully I will get this one finished before Flossmss series is over. But as I said, I that's the WIPs that I currently have. I have no idea how many there were. Maybe editing Beth will be very nice and put a number on the screen. If not, it just meant I was editing down to the wire before this video goes up. So hopefully that will give you an idea of what I have on the go and things like that. I do plan to start a few new starts. I plan to start 'Tis the Season, Hello from Liz Mathews, new Patreon piece. I really love that. I'm actually planning on doing it in the lighter colourway, which is not normally my Christmas colours, but I am thinking about doing pink Christmas, either in my office at work or at the flat. I'm not entirely sure, but I really want to change that up. Also, this year, I don't know if I have it next to me. I was hoping I did so I could quickly grab it, but I can't. Oh, yes, I can. I picked up Merry Stitchmas, which is Emma Condon's new book, and I'm so not normally these bright colours, but this really just screamed joy to me. So this is something, I'm not sure I will get any starts from this before the end of this year, but definitely next year. This is something I plan to do a little bit of work on. So I am planning to do the Liz Mathews colourway, probably in the brighter colourway, which is very not me. And I do want to try and maybe start a few snowman pieces, because in January I would like to put some decorations up that are snowman theme. This year in my flat I did not put up my tree. I was really debating it, but I was so unwell at the start of December that end of November I was putting it off. One, I had to order a new tree. I was waiting for Black Friday sale. I ordered the tree, it came start of December, and I was sick, so didn't come up. And then I was really umming and ahhing, do I want to put the tree up? Do I just want to put some decorations out? This year is a very different Christmas for me. Next year, 100%, I will put the tree up, but I'm planning on trying to change things up a little bit. I work in a new school. I wasn't really sure how many decorations I could put up. Turns out I can go all out. So next year I plan to do my office, and that's why I'm thinking pink Christmas for my office, something completely different. Maybe keep it a little bit more toned down for my flat, because I'm not normally the bright and colourful. But I ordered a few years ago the Stitching with the Housewives Vintage Christmas. I did plan on changing the colours, but now I'm thinking no, keep it bright, keep it pink. So I will have a few different things, but it will probably be a little bit more pastel-y colourway rather than bright in your face colours, just because that's a little bit of my thing. I did show you the Modern Folk ribbons that I started for Big Stitch, and those colours are extremely bright. That's not normally my colourway, but that's what I'm looking at. So I have got some decisions to make about charts. I am looking forward to hearing your advice down below. Should I dekit a few of those charts so I could have the threads and stuff back in my stash? I do currently work. I have a master kit of DMC that I work from, but I still have some DMC in stash from where I very first started. I thought I would have to kit up every single project with the called for colours, whereas now, as you can see, I just go for whatever colours I fancy. I do love collecting threads. This was one of the new ones for me, the Tom and Lily Creations. I bought some of their threads this year for the first time. I'm really enjoying them. I do have a lot of Cottage Garden threads. I am now starting to use them rather than hoard them. So I do have a lot of threads, but I'm just debating. They're not bringing me as much joy when I look at them anymore, but part of me is like, you've worked so hard on them. As I said, my birthday sampler, I'm really tempted just to put that to one side and start it on a small count, just for space wise, but also I think it would look really cute as a little pillow, and then it won't be so in your face present, because otherwise it's just going to be finished and it'll be set in the box under my bed because I just don't have space for it. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts. Let me know how many WIPs roughly do you have. Next year I am planning on doing WIP Go. I'm also planning on restarting my cross stitch journal. I used to use a bullet journal and I absolutely loved it. This year I kind of fell off track with everything, with moving schools and everything else. So I want to get better at it. I'm not going to be doing a finish parade this year. I mentioned in my Flossmss I'm not going to do one just because I have no idea what I finished. My finishes are a little bit all over the place from the move. I have some in my portfolio where I keep the ones that are unfinished. I also have 3 different spots around the house, and to be honest, it's not the year. So next year I will get better at organisation, and then I can finish the year with a WIP parade and a finish parade. So that's pretty much it from me. I am doing Stitch from Stash next year because that really motivated me the year before to get things finished off my WIP list. But also a lot of the WIPs still bring me so much joy, but a lot of them aren't actually WIPs. I've stitched 1 or 2 in the series and I need to get my button gear and stitch the rest of them. So I need to work out from my WIP parade today what I plan on pulling out. Do I just want to do a whole load of new starts, which is actually really what I want to do at the moment? Or do I want to do work on some WIPs that I currently have going? So you will see that progress. This video is actually going to be coming out after a lot of my Flossmss series, so you may have already seen I've started a load of new starts, in which case my WIP count has suddenly gone up, but it's all the fun of stitching and I really don't care how many WIPs I have. I have loads of empty product bags, so I can get some more WIPs on the go. I also need to work out what is going to be my start piece for 2026. Am I going to go with one that I already have kitted up? But I do have 3 or 4 charts that I've wanted for a while and debating, do I want to pick one of those up and have that as my 2026 new start? Kind of feel like I want a new start, but we'll see. Right, I'm going to head off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. It has meant the world for me in 2025. I do apologise for my absences quite a lot, but unfortunately life comes up and life hit me in quite a horrible way this year, but I'm getting back on my feet and I am ready for 2026 to be a brand new year. So I really hope you have enjoyed the Flossmss series. As I said, I don't exactly know when this video is going up. It will definitely be going up towards the end of Flossmss, so there may be a video or 2 left to come, but I will see you all very soon. Happy stitching. Bye guys.